Daddy D. If it ain't going down at the Bunny Ranch, it ain't going down at all.
It's going down at the Bunny Ranch. Going down.
Welcome back to the Bunny Ranch podcast. I'm James, and this week we have the beautiful, the amazing, the lovely Kylie Rose from the Bunny Ranch.
Hey everyone. Nice to meet you. I'm Kylie.
So, Kylie, how did you get in this industry? I know you've been in adult entertainment for a little bit, but how did you get into this?
So it all started quite a while ago, but not that long ago. I started out in cam modeling, so I was working with StreamMate and a few other companies, and just kind of feeling it out, seeing if it was something I really enjoyed to do. And I just got really intrigued by the industry, and I really liked it, so I continued doing it, and it just kind of evolved from there. Yeah.
Well, what brought you? I mean, you said camming to porn.
Yeah.
Us.
Yeah.
Like what transition? I mean, obviously camming and porn. Yeah, that seems like a smooth transition. Kind of. But what transitioned you from porn to the Bunny Ranch?
Sure. So I'll first go back a little bit. So what transitioned me from camming to porn was basically, as you may or may not know, camming is solely just you solo doing stuff by yourself. And I just kind of wanted to meet more people in the industry and really submerge into that environment. So I looked into getting into actual pornography and doing things on set opposed to doing things just in my room. So I acquired for an agency, and within the day I was flown out to Miami, and it just went from there. I did various films and I really enjoyed it. And then like anything else, I wanted, I'm the type of person where I like change and I like to try new things. And so I knew some people in the industry that had spoken about the Bunny Ranch the years that I was in porn, and I always thought, you don't know what to trust what people say, so you never know if it would work for you, right? Yeah. Until you actually go and make the step to find out. So back in October, that's what I did. I said, you know what, I'm not going to really care what anyone else says, good or bad. I'm just going to go and find out for myself what it's going to be like. So
what are your first thoughts of the Bunny Ranch? You said you've been here since October.
Yeah.
So what exactly, what was that first day like when you first walked through those doors, the Bunny Ranch, the big pink wooden door, pink and, bleh.
Gold.
Sorry.
Pink and gold.
So what were your first thoughts when you walked through those first can't talk today. So what were your first thoughts when you first walked through the Bunny Ranch front doors?
Honestly, I don't really think so I came in pretty late at night and it was very dark. Uh-huh. So I was just like, oh wow, this is what it is. I had never prior seen the show.
Okay. Yeah.
I went in a little bit more blind maybe than some people would have.
Yeah, because you're talking about the old HBO Cat House show. Right. So, yeah.
Yeah, I never saw that. I had friends who are a little older than me, and they were like, oh, yeah, I know exactly what that is. And I'm like, I'm like, it's funny because when you're in the industry, in the adult industry, you start to just know that world, and you don't really know
the other parts of it.
Civilians.
Okay. Yeah.
I don't really love that term, but when you're in it for so long, I can see how that term becomes what it is. Yeah. Because there's just people, they're different, when they've not been in that industry or understand it, or so I come in it knowing the adult industry. So I guess my expectations and what I know is a little different than opposed to somebody who comes in and this is their first experience. Okay.
Yeah, no, I get that. Yeah. So then obviously you came at night.
Right.
So that next day, what ran through your mind? Like, obviously you were paired with another lady.
Yeah.
That's usually the big sister program. So that way they get you accustomed to everything. And you kind of learn the ropes and learn different rules and laws for the state of Nevada too.
Right. Yeah. So they gave me the Bunny Bible. I was like, okay, looks like there's a lot here, but when I read through it, there's a lot of repeat information.
Yep.
So it just reiterated on it and kind of drills it into your head. So it's good. It's definitely different than, the rules and laws of the other things I've done. There's some areas where I'd say it's a little more lenient and other areas where I'd say it's a little more strict.
Okay.
So there's it's like anything else in the adult industry. There's those areas where you're like, okay, so in this situation, how does this work? So you kind of have to I spent time talking to the cashiers, talking to my big sister, just trying to, make sure I fully understood everything I was reading.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's best so that way you really fully get immersed and understand every bit of everything. Because this, just like anything, we're a very unique type of company.
Right.
And we're also very unique even to the state of Nevada because other types of ranches in the state of Nevada, unfortunately, are not as open door policy as we are, things like that. So a little different, especially coming from porn to that too.
Yeah.
It's a huge shock at that point.
Yeah. And also I'm from the East Coast.
Okay.
So I've only been to the West Coast a handful of times prior to coming here. Now it's obviously more often. I never actually did pornography in LA, so I didn't even have any of that West Coast experience there either. So
gotcha.
Definitely an East Coast girl.
Well, I mean, I don't know, the East Coast.
Yeah.
It's a lot. I've been there a couple times. It's kind of a nice place.
Yeah.
I think the West's a little more nicer though. The people.
Yeah.
I mean, the traffic's about the same sometimes in some big cities.
Yes.
Yeah.
So now I live in Fort Lauderdale and the traffic is there is none here. Anybody who complains about traffic, I'm like, yeah, about that.
Yeah, no. Northern Nevada, our traffic's a lot quicker.
Yeah.
We're still moving about 50 miles an hour in traffic.
Yeah.
And then everyone's screaming about it compared to LA or New York, Florida.
Yeah.
You sit in dead stop, in Las Vegas even. You sit in dead stop traffic and you could be there for hours.
Yeah, exactly. The big cities are for me, it's nice to come here because it's so much more relaxed. In my area right now, it's very hectic because we get a lot of Canadians.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Yeah. So
what, so I mean, obviously, I'm going to reiterate again, you came from porn. Mm-hmm. What kind of kinks and fetishes, because I know porn is kind of in that realm where you usually have you're known for something like that, right? A special kink and a special fetish or a whole category. Because a couple weeks ago we had Marie Bassett on here and she's more foot fetish.
Yeah.
But what it just truly intrigued me because I honestly have never gotten that detailed of foot fetishes.
Yeah.
I've just heard about it.
Yeah.
But what kind of stuff are you into?
So when I was not filming for the larger companies as much anymore, I went off to work with a company who specializes in fetish. Mm-hmm. And they introduced me to a lot of different fetishes. Foot job is one of foot stuff, as you could say.
Foot stuff.
All the foot stuff. Is a huge fetish everywhere. I swear. I don't think it's categorized to any one place. It's very widespread. There's a lot of people who like feet. So that's a big one for me. When I did do those things for them, it was also ass worshiping and just body worship. And it's this complete appreciation for the female body, which is really interesting to me. And that evolved into some of the more, extreme things losing my voice. Sorry.
It's okay.
So cuckolding and
wait. What was that?
It's called cuckolding.
What is that?
So it's basically making a guy do things that are gay, but they're not necessarily gay.
Oh, okay.
So
is it okay? Explain this a little more to me. Sorry, So like making them do butt stuff?
Maybe.
Or like what?
So it's like this idea that you're making a man do something they're completely uncomfortable with, right? They're a man that is on the submissive end of things, so they're not dominant, usually in any way, unless they're switch where they do both, right? So they don't necessarily love what you're doing, but they're going to do it because you're the goddess, you're the dom, you're the one telling them what to do, right? So a really big one in this, which is part of it, is making them eat another guy's cum.
Okay.
So, like, say the dom or stud guy gets off on my foot, I would have him eat it off my foot. And then that incorporates back to the foot fetish.
Okay.
So it like kind of is, you know, there's all these different variables and different ways to do things. Say, real like for some people that may be really extreme, right? But for other people, like you were saying, like making them do butt stuff would probably be really extreme, or doing like a strap-on type thing where you have a strap-on and you've got a guy there, and then you might make the guy like interact with the strap-on, but also with the other guy. Like, so it's just, there's like all these variables.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds like a fun.
Yeah.
Man, that could be fun.
Yeah, for sure. I haven't experienced anything to that nature yet here, and there's certain things obviously that we cannot do.
Yeah, parts of that I can obviously see we can't do here.
Right, but we can incorporate like strap-on.
Yep.
And stuff like that, and we could, have two girls say be dominant and be in the room with two guys.
That's true.
Right, because it's one guy per girl.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So
it's just more for the safety wise.
Yeah, no, I totally get it.
Yeah.
So there are ways I could definitely do some similar things to that, but maybe not in all of the super cum eating extremes.
Yeah, that'd be a little much. Unfortunately, Nevada kind of frowns upon doing that in brothels,
right?
Among other things. So
right, there always has to be protection and stuff like that. But there are ways that we can do similar things for sure.
Yeah. Okay, so like what else? So we got cuckolding, right?
Yeah.
So what else was there? Or is that the big one?
That's definitely the big one.
Okay.
There is a lot in like the ass worshiping and the body worship that kind of goes into that, but it's not quite as extreme. The other extreme thing, which would be like masochistic stuff of like that kind of stuff, like whipping and bondage and stuff like that. Yeah.
So are you more of a switch or are you more a dom when it comes to like that BDSM realm? Because I've talked to many people and I've been around Alice a long time, so I kind of know a lot of that stuff.
Yeah.
But what are you? Are you more switch or a dom or sub?
It's hard to say. I consider myself a switch for sure because I can do things more on the submissive side and still have pleasure. I guess for me that's like how you gauge that, right?
Yeah.
Is it still pleasurable if you're a sub or is it not? If it's not, you might just be a dom. But it's still pleasurable for me to be submissive, but not always. Like there's certain things I wouldn't do. Like there's certain extremes I wouldn't.
You have your limits, essentially.
I have my hard nose, just like anyone else I would assume does. So
yeah, no, I feel you. I fall into the switch realm too, so
yeah,
I totally understand that aspect there.
Yeah.
And I have my hard nose on both sides.
Right.
Like there are certain things I'm going to obviously say, nope.
Yeah.
Bye.
There's like, do you have $1 million? No. Okay. Bye. Like
even then, there's sometimes
exactly. There's some things just that money cannot buy. That's for sure. Especially if it goes past your limits. But yeah, I would say I'm definitely, because of being in all the industries that I've been in, I've become very open to a lot of different things. A lot of people will come to me and be like, this is really weird. I don't know. Like they're afraid to be open with me.
Yeah.
But maybe they don't know me as well But if they did, they would know that they have no problem being open to me because I probably heard it, like, not just once, but probably 5 times. Or it's like there's no judgment. And I think I really iterate that a lot on the forum, that it's really hard to shock me with anything. I've heard a lot at this point.
And you're talking about forums, right?
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Okay.
For sure.
Yeah, definitely. It's a good way to interact to all of us because it's actually kind of like our own little social network.
Yeah.
And it's pretty much identical to a lot of aspects of like Facebook or message boards. Essentially, you can post, go into chat rooms, you can chat with just your friends.
For sure.
You know, so it's not a bad idea, especially if you want to get, or actually if you want to get to actually know her more.
Yeah.
You can actually talk to them or just email. What is like your fantasy party, like your whole dream party? I mean, if you haven't had it yet, what is that moment, like that thing that's going to really get you off? That's going to make, like, I don't know, just your world collide and all these crazy things, right?
Okay. So let's paint a picture for everyone. I'm going to honestly just go from like the start of what it would be.
Okay.
And we'll see, right? So my fantasy party would include 4 people. So 2 guys and 2 girls. I really love toys. I'm sure anyone who's followed me at least a little bit has seen that I talk a lot about toys.
You do.
I've mentioned the Bad Dragon various times. And I love those toys. They're so cool because they have different harnesses. So you can get like a soft one, a harder one, or I think there's like in the middle one. And then you could pick the color. You could pick like everything and get this custom one.
Okay.
So I really love to use those, and other girls really like them too because I usually get those softer ones.
Okay.
So it's more realistic than the really hard, like abrasive kind of ones. So you can use them longer too, right? So 4 people, I'd have the Bad Dragons, at least 1 or maybe 2. I actually have somebody getting me one who's sending it to the ranch.
Oh, okay.
Hopefully an alcohol. So we'll see with that. But back to the party. So 4 people, the Bad Dragons. I have this double header. So it goes inside me and then it goes out. So what's really cool about that is you can like feel the strokes rather than having something just attached to you.
Yeah.
And it's really like, I've used quite a few different strap-ons at this point. And because I am so small, a lot of them don't fit me very well. And then they have the straps that just like hang down. Like literally like down to my past my knees, some of them.
Well, how tall are you? Because, I mean, you brought that up. Might as well. Because, I know you are fairly short.
So I'm rather short. I'm literally an inch taller than Alice. So I'm like 4'9", close to 4'10".
Okay.
Yeah. I'm quite small.
All right. Sorry to interrupt that story.
Okay.
All right, back to your fantasy.
Back to my fantasy. So, I am bisexual. I think I've not really totally delve into that side of me yet.
Okay.
But like my first sexual experiences were with girls, not guys. So, yeah. And so I would really enjoy having another girl with me and then another guy because it's kind of like that switch and then that swinger kind of vibe because I'm really big into that. So aside of being a sex worker, it's not just a job for me. It is truly a lifestyle. So going more into that, the party would be where it felt more natural. And that's, I think, the key to why it's not only a fantasy, but something that somebody who would come to me, they would not feel that it's as transactional because of the fact that I do really enjoy it, like, wholeheartedly.
Wait, you enjoy it? No way.
Who would have thought, right?
That's why we all stay in the industry as long as we do, because
Right, because
you
you
have to have
actually
fun.
like
If you
it,
don't have fun work,
yeah.
I mean, there's no point. I mean, I enjoy coming in every day because it's never the exact same every day. And I know for a lot of you ladies too, it's the same way.
Yeah.
You never have the exact same thing every single day because you don't know what's going to come through the door. You don't know what's going to email you. You know,
it's always like, you know, you never know, just like James so nicely said. So this party would be so awesome because like it would incorporate all the things that I love to do. And it would, I think, open, you know, maybe people up to really experience this not only in a party, but in their lifestyle. And say, oh, okay, you know, it is possible to meet a girl that likes to have fun with another girl.
Yeah.
Because I know there's a lot of, you know, there's that maybe stigma, cliche that, you know, girls only do it to appease a man kind of thing rather than to please themselves. In my case, it is not just to please a man. It's the complete opposite. No, but it's that thing where a lot of people will say, you know, when I go to you, I want to make sure I'm doing something that you enjoy, and this would fill that entirely. So having the experience of not only being with the man, but also being with the girl, having them, I do switch. So back to that whole switch thing. I do really enjoy, even maybe more so than a man being dominant on me, a woman being dominant on me.
Okay.
So, like we were saying, like there's those hard no's and certain things like everybody has that's a little bit different. That's one of the things for me is I actually really, really like a woman kind of dominating me. I can be dominant, but I don't mind if she, say, wears the strap on, if she wants to be in more control. So that can be a part that can be incorporated into this fantasy, have them wear the strap on, maybe a little bit more submissive, where men might not be able to see that quite as much if it was just me and the guy, you know, because you can't really... The one other thing I know is that you can't really do too much extreme without having somebody in the room with you anyway.
Yeah, just it's for the safety.
For the safety, exactly. And I totally get that. I really like that policy. I think that's great because it makes people feel more comfortable for sure. So, so having the girl there, interacting with the girl, using the strap on, just like exploring different positions. Because I'm so small, I would probably want to utilize one of those sex couch things. Yeah. And I think that would be really cool to bring that into the party as well. The more props, the better, honestly, because there's just like always something, you know, you could be having fun doing. I really love, I have a body wand. That's like one of my favorite things.
Okay.
And you can use that not only on a girl, but on a guy too.
Is that the magic wand or is that
kind of,
is it similar? Okay.
It's an older, so you literally plug this one into the wall.
Okay. Well, I know some of the magic wands had power cords too. That's why I was... Okay.
So that's usually something I like to use. And like, all the toys, all the fun, make it comfortable for everybody, you know, go over what everybody, like how they want to have fun, you know, what they like, talk about that a little bit beforehand and really plan out the party by position, by using the couch, you know, who's going to wear the strap on. Like maybe we'll do like a little bit of a switch scenario where I'm a little bit more dominant and then, you know, she's a little bit more dominant, or maybe it's just her being dominant on me. You know, the possibilities are endless, honestly. Oh yeah, no. I mean, what you just described, I'm pretty sure there's a lot of people out there going, so you got to make sure. I mean, for one, whoever's going to do that, get here. Yeah, seriously. Do that with her. Make her fantasy come true. You know, come visit, come see the BunnyRanch. You can literally just buy T-shirts if you want and take a tour. You know, there's a lot of different things we can do as in the industry. So you want to make sure just come visit, at least come see it. It's a
it's a state historic landmark as well, right in front of the building. So,
Yeah. Also, tax season is coming up. So you can save your tax money and you can make a trip to the Bunny Ranch for sure.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So, well, this has been a lot of fun. I've learned a little bit more.
Yeah.
Because, obviously, I really honestly didn't know what cuckolding was. I've heard the term, I just never really got in depth with it.
It's probably one thing that hasn't been talked about, partly because of the fact that there is a lot of elements that could not be done.
That we can't do
Right.
here. I understand.
But I'm really big at hacking it, I guess.
Yeah.
You can find a way to make something happen. You can find a way to fulfill a fantasy without going out of, the lines. You can still, if there's a will, there's a way. Totally.
Yeah. There's always a way to at least make some kind of fantasy come very true, essentially.
For sure.
Well, how do we get a hold of you? So, we already talked about the message board a little bit.
Yes.
So, and the link will be down there somewhere.
Yes.
But how do we get a hold of you, though?
Okay, so I am active on there. You can message me or you can email me by emailing me at KylieRose at BunnyRanch.com. So KYLIE, rose as in the beautiful rose in the red, my favorite color, by the way, at BunnyRanch.com.
So your favorite color is red?
It is.
Okay. It's more dominant color because that's actually a more empowering color.
Yeah.
So I get that. Okay.
Yeah, not angry.
No. It doesn't have to be angry. No, it's empowering.
Yeah,
that's the
it's
difference.
empowering. There's lots of red around here too.
Oh yeah, this whole building is
it's
red.
all red. Yeah.
Yeah. Are you on Twitter?
I got suspended.
It happens
Permanently.
Yeah, the new rules on Twitter, unfortunately.
Yeah.
It's hitting a lot of people.
If I am able to I did actually submit my Twitter to the adult guild and stuff.
Yeah.
That it was part of that. So if I am able to get it back, it was Kylie Rose Fetish.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, with always, I'm James. And make sure you go on there, comment, subscribe, give us a 5-star rating on whatever platform you are listening or watching on, whether it's our YouTube channel where you can see all of the actual video and see how beautiful she is and how short she is. And also, whether you're on Apple Podcasts, Google, Stitcher, Spotify, all these great things, make sure you get on there. So we've been in top 100 since we launched. Let's continue this. It's been a great pleasure.
That's awesome.
Talking to you. So,
Thank you very much, James.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me.
It's going down at the BunnyRanch.